Hi everyone, it's Kathy Zilski. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got some fun card projects to share with you featuring some brand new products from Pinkfresh Studio. They have released some brand new essentials in their die collection and I cannot wait to share them with you because I think they are so all-purpose. So let's take a look at the products. This set is so big it could barely fit in my frame of view. This is called the Classic Words die set. And what is so cool about this is you get the word and the shadow layer, which really does maximize how you can use a sentiment. And they're all purpose. Everything from hello to hooray to happy birthday, thank you, best wishes. They cover a wide range of sentiments that card makers need. So there's that. Also today, I'm using the diagonal stitched rectangles. Now there are 4 dies. They all nest in together. 2 have this really cool diagonal stitching, and then 2 are just straight frame cutters. I love them, and I also love that Pinkfresh includes a magnetic piece of paper to help keep your dies organized. So that's pretty cool. For color today, I'll be using some of the Pinkfresh liquid watercolors. These colors are so vibrant and bright, and if you've never done anything with watercolor, liquid is a fun way to go. So I love these colors, and I think they worked really well on my project today, so there's that. I've got some brushes and some painter's tape along with a little palette for adding my little drops of color. For watercolor paper, I'll be using B watercolor paper. And then I've got a couple different weights of the Neenah Solar White Classic Crest, both 110 pound and the 80 pound as well. Got a little foam pad, and this is really helpful for delicate die cuts when you're popping everything out. Now it's time to paint. So, taking the color, I shake up the little bottles first and then just drop a bit in. I probably had too much of the color, but that's okay. We're gonna lay down clean water. I want to get my paper wet enough so that the color will move, so I just go over it a few times. It's just kind of by feel. It's probably not perfect, but look at what happens when you take a wet brush, pick up some of that color, and drop it in. It's really cool to watch it move, and I love how bright this green is. So all I'm doing is working my way across this piece of watercolor paper in rainbow order. Now I do have my distress sprayer from Tim Holtz just to kind of add on a little more water as the paper starts to dry. But it really can be kind of messy. It doesn't have to be perfect because it really is just to create this simple wash of color that I'm going to cut a panel out of. And with watercolor like this, you just want to work in layers. So once you get your first wash down, you take a look at it and you think, all right, we're gonna bring out the heat tool and I'm gonna dry it right here. And I have this taped down to just like, this is a cutting board, I think from Epicurious or Epicurean maybe. I've cooked on it before, but I don't cook on it anymore. Rest assured, it's really only for painting now. But I'm just gonna dry this, moving the heat tool across the piece. And then I took a look at it and thought, yeah, we're gonna pump up the color a little more. So here's what's great. You can just keep layering in color. So I took almost a full strength of the green and then just picked up some clean water from my little jar there to soften it up and move it a little bit. Because now that the paper's dry, the ink isn't going to move in quite the same way. But I'm also going to pump up the purple as well. I thought the blues in the middle looked great, but needed a little more of the purple from side to side. And again, just laid in that color, spritzed a little water, you know, just until it looks good. There's no science. Well, there is science. I mean, it's the rainbow, so I guess my apologies to science. All right, now I'm going to take the Hooray die. I'm going to use a metal adapter. It's a shim, if you will. And I'm cutting this out of the 80 pound Neenah Solar White. I just figured with very delicate little word dies, and this is it's very delicate. I wanted to make sure that it cut beautifully and cleanly. And this is where I love having a foam pad or a piece of foam core, just something that you can basically poke on because you don't want to bend these delicate die cuts. And if you have a foam, you can just push right through and your die cut looks fantastic. Look at that. Hooray! I'm cutting 2 more of those out. You can see that in the distance. And now I'm going to cut out the shadow layer. And I'm using the 110 pound for that because I wanted it to be a little sturdier. Next, while the die cut machine is hot and ready, well, it's not really hot, going to cut out the diagonal panel because this is going to be part of the layer of panels that I put on my card, and I love that slashed diagonal texture. It's really cool. Got my spray adhesive in my little box that I keep in my craft space, and I'll spray this off camera, hold my breath, and blow away so I don't breathe in anything, but I do like the spray adhesive for stacking these die cuts, and I'm going to glue 3 together. Show you the first one here. It always takes me, I'm not great every time. I do mess this step up more than I would like to admit, but I love the look of the stacked dies, so it's a risk I'm willing to take. Thank you. I'm going to use the medium or multi-medium matte to adhere that stacked die cut onto the shadow layer. I like the liquid because you can move it around a little bit until it's just where you want it. I'll let that dry. Now I'm going to cut the watercolor panel, and I just wanted to angle it to get whatever I deemed was the right amount of green, blue, and purple. And now I'll add my 3/4 inch foam tape. I want to cover the entire back. This watercolor paper actually seems to dry pretty flat, so that's really nice. This foam tape also helps your piece to stay flatter. For my card base, I'm going to score this at 4 1/4, and it will fold down to be A2, US A2 size, 4 1/4 tall by 5 1/2 wide. And I always tape my card panels closed because I don't, Mama can't have the pop-up. There we go. I'll be using some Gina K dot runner to adhere the first panel with the little diagonal stitches. And I just wanted to put that right on the base, just flat, not popped up. And I'll take off the backing to the foam and just place that right in the center. So that has the bit of pop-up. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I have some thin foam squares on the back of that shadow layer. We're just popping it up, just like that. Now, I think I could have left it. I don't think this needs anything else because I just love how clean that is, the white on white with the dimension. But then I thought, let's add some shine. So I just took a few silver sequins and placed them down using a little liquid adhesive and my pokey tool and tweezers. And I think it's a really nice, simple look, but really fun. I also wanted to show you another card that I did where I took the happy birthday sentiment and I cut that out of one of the samples of watercolor pieces that I had done while I was brainstorming this card project. I also added some glitter to that, and I think that looks really good as well. So thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out all of these new essential releases from Pinkfresh. There is some really all-purpose wonderful dies in this release. And I'd love to have you become a subscriber to my channel, and I'll see you back here again with another card project soon.